our job here is promoting the family, warning you about patterns, like the fireman getting shot. Obviously, tragedy over there. Looked into it. The guy's a mental patient, kind of a brony weirdo, a mentally ill person. Fireman, horrible. Don't get me wrong, but not really indicative of a pattern that I could have much to do with outside of let's bring back loony bins. Drag Queen Story Hour, on the other hand, we're letting pedophiles near kids. I don't like that. We have to stop doing that. We have the War on Kids file that God directs us to every Friday. That's a pattern. DEI is making it very dangerous to be outside. That's a pattern. Women have taken over politics, and they're really, really bad at it. That's a pattern. We want to stop those patterns because they'll lead to the death of civilization. P. Diddy having orgies with consensual adults. They weren't consensual. Oh, really? The bouncer guy who looks like Vin Diesel and said that Diddy forced me to sleep with women something like 1,300 times. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, shame on us. Fool me 1,300 times. Maybe I'm just horny and like these girls and hope to get a payoff at some point. So TMZ is talking all about it, and I feel bad for them. This is why I was just on LA. Sorry if you're watching this from Los Angeles, but your town blows chunks. Not that New York is anything to write home about. I'm happy to criticize New York too. They both suck for totally different reasons.
This is, guys, this is huge.
Guys.
Whether if the judge, it's huge.
So what, he would just be out until the sentence?
Yeah, he could be out pending sentencing.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it's a fair ask. I don't know that he'll let
that would be a hell of a last freak off.
This is going to show the judge's feelings on his dangerousness.
No,
argument about
you can't.
They sound like they're talking about a nuclear war. They are discussing P. Diddy getting out. And again, what I've always said about all this stuff is if, like, they go, what about him beating the shit out of that girl in the hospital? Call the police. You've been assaulted. As far as like mind control, we're going to get to this. I saw the Dove Charney American Apparel movie last night, and it's all about how he controlled everyone. No. Scientology, Mormonism, the answer is no. Adults cannot cry, he controlled me. She controls me. That's your fucking problem, loser heads. Sorry. Little kids, very bad. I can't tell you how many times we've shown these allegedly LGBTQ mentors who want to help the children and end up them. That's often what protect trans kids mean. Adults, shut the fuck up, loser. So if you are a victim of P. Diddy, you're a loser. Wait a minute, let me make that even clearer. If you have any kind of story about being assaulted over a long period of time and you didn't go to the police and your out is that he controlled your mind, go fuck yourself, you're a loser. And here's what, you're even worse. You allowed for future victims. So if you allowed this sexual predator to get away with something like beating you up in a hotel and you accepted money or whatever, you facilitated future attacks. So good luck sleeping at night.
Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
Hello, I'm Gavin McInnes.
And together we're Compound Censored.
And we would like you to subscribe with this deal using this promo code right below me right now.
Do it, because it's very entertaining.
You're the Robin to his Batman.
The same thing that he was saying at the bail.
The jury said no.
He's not convicted of a crime that would you typically hold over somebody.
He's in Maui. He does not have access to his plane. This is his first conviction, and it is a prostitution offense. He should be released.
Yeah, I mean, that's a compelling, that is a compelling argument.
They would never hold over somebody just on
a Mann Act. They would never. They would never.
You know what he looks like? He looks like a guy that went on testosterone and then got hair plugs because he was going bald. He's got that muscular neck and face that, what's his name had, the John McAfee guy. They get the muscles in their cheeks. It looks weird.
On the Mann Act, they would never. They would never.
But it's not the same analysis as the verdict. It just isn't. It's an analysis of
He
dangerousness
was
and flight
found
risk.
not guilty.
He is found guilty of crimes. He's going to be sentenced. Hold on. Now I think about this. Is he a flight risk? Yes, he's still hugely wealthy and he's been convicted of a crime.
That's why he says he doesn't have access to a plane.
How do you know he's hugely wealthy? He's probably
He probably is not a flight risk at this point.
I don't know that you can say that he's one of the wealthiest. Not everybody who's
Because you're wealthy
is
doesn't mean you stay in
Okay, I
prison.
give one thing. His family is here and could sign a bond. He should be released today to go back and live at Two-Star Island. The judge says this is coming up right now. I will hear from the government in a moment. Are you proposing he just walk outside now? Yes.
Can you imagine working there?
Holy
If he moves
crap.
outside that point,
Blah, 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 blah. They're talking.
I
It's
know.
their
I
newsroom.
don't
That's
see
the
how they-
newsroom.
If the judge
I'm
says we're going to hold him without bail on a prostitution charge, no way.
No way. No way. I want to do a show about TMZ where we just talk about that guy and what they're talking about. Try to get into their personal lives. I was at a restaurant once at a ski resort and the black guy was there. Great story, huh?
What did he order?
I think he had steak.
Okay.
I don't know if I recognize him. I don't know if he recognized me. I don't see him there. Maybe he's moved on.
Maybe.
Poor guy. So yeah, I never gave a shit about that. Some people were mad at me for not saying more about Canada Day. Sorry, I've been living in America for more than half my life. I checked in on you guys last Canada Day, and I did not hear English once. I saw 3 flags on the big day. I was down by that island off of Toronto where you take a little ferry, and there's a lot of Pajeets and not a lot of Canadian flags. You just elected, what's his name? Mark Carney?
Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah.
Head of like the Canadian Federal Reserve or the government of banks. And he decided, because Canadians are retarded and they hate Trump, to focus on that for his campaign. Fuck Trump. Okay. 80% of your economy is contingent on American business. But yeah, let's bite the hand that feeds us and tell Trump to fuck off. Holy fuck, is it an oven in here? So, if you're mad at me for not loving Canada enough, get mad at you for fucking up your country. This has been sent to me a million times. Pathetic men. I'm as shocked as you when I saw this. Wow. Also, when it comes to violence, you don't have to be Vin Diesel to fight well, especially when you're 2 people and you're wearing a helmet. Like, just swarm him. You two just get on top of him. Hold him down, choke him. It doesn't have to be perfect like Harley Burke fucking knockouts. Harley, by the way, is the 150th best boxer in the world right now.
Oh, wow.
10-0, 8 knockouts. You don't have to be a ninja. Just like grab him. He doesn't have a knife or a gun. These guys are acting like there's a gun to their head. This is mortifying. These guys are going to dude hell. I've talked to people in the men community. We're talking about revoking their passes. I talked to a woman, a black guy over at the Man Pass Society. I could hear a smoke detector chirping in the background. Okay, check this out. This guy probably is my age too. The bad guy. Turn it up.
Oh, dude. Yo.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean it, eh? I mean, like, if you're making fences, like, might as well make them nice. Nice fences are nice. And you guys are fast as fuck. I like it. I like you guys. It's good.
He's a mental patient. Throw his bike over. Tell him to go fuck himself, too. You got to nip these kind of people in the bud. He saw that they're subservient, so he's coming back for more. Because you allowed him to get up in your face. You got to keep people at bay. This is one thing you learn living in New York.
Who's the bitch?
Niceness is not rewarded. Look at this.
Which one is the bitch? No. What the hell? Who's the bitch?
They're not even mad at that.
You.
I don't know if your bike took off, too. Maybe it's gone.
Who's the bitch?
What do we do?
You.
Hey! You said bitch.
No, we didn't.
You're good?
No, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
Look at this.
I
Are
didn't
you
say
sure
anything.
you're good?
I'm sure I'm good. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say anything, man.
And your bike is here.
I know.
This guy's probably impressed with himself. He's probably like, holy shit, I'm a badass.
We're not talking.
These guys are in great shape too if they're mountain biking in the rain.
River? Hey, you want to try?
He's got glasses on. Look how easily he's
Dude, get the fuck away from me! You fucking bitch! Dude, we don't want to cause problems.
Bitch.
No, dude, please.
You just
please
said
don't.
it again,
Please,
man.
please don't.
Because you're hitting me, please. Buddy, stop.
Because
We
you
don't
were
wanna
hitting
fight.
me.
We're sorry.
You kicked me.
Because you're...
Right in the nuts. Right in the
Buddy,
nuts.
please stop. Please.
You do that again. You go in the river.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You
I'm sorry.
hear me?
Kick him in the
We're sorry.
balls.
You
I'm
hear
sorry.
me?
I hear you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There's 2 bikes there. He could be in the river.
Okay, we're sorry.
I'm an asshole. I'm a bitch. But I won't do it because you're young as fuck.
We're sorry.
I'm 48.
48.
I'm really sorry, man.
A 48-year-old
You wanna do it
midget
again?
with
No,
a
we're
salt and
sorry.
pepper beard
We'll leave. We're
just
sorry,
scared
man.
the shit out of you with
We're
0
sorry.
weapons.
I'm really
I
sorry.
mean, you might need a break.
We'll take a break. We'll just chill here. We'll just chill, man.
We'll just chill.
Okay?
Hey, you know there's a cougar around here. The cougar is chasing people.
I haven't watched
I
it
don't
this
know
far.
that cougar. But watch yourself, boys.
Okay.
Is that your wife?
Watch yourself, boys.
We'll be careful.
You want to punch again?
No.
You want to kick? Show me your skill. You
Yeah.
want to go in the
Show
river
him your
with me?
skills.
I'm really
Hey, you
sorry.
want to go
There's
in the
3 of
river
them, I
with me?
think.
Swim, maybe. You want to swim because biking is boring.
We'll leave.
Don't you have a personal temper? Like, don't you have a switch? When we fought JL, I was like, okay, calm down, calm down. Remember the one where Ryan bloodies him in my front room? And then I'm very hard to get mad. But eventually he threw me into my own driveway and knocked me unconscious on a brick where I was out for, I don't know, a few seconds. Then I was like, that's it. And then I was the Hulk. And I opened his face up. I'm not bragging. But don't you have a tipping point? Where you're like, you know what, that's it. The bike should have been the tipping point. All right, let me just remind you of what real men do in the country. It's not that cool, but this is like the minimum of what men do. This is how we go on vacation. This is not comedy. This is a documentary. 100% of this is true. Although they did get up pretty early after going to bed so late.
This is a day on vacation without any women. We arrive at the cabin well after dark because we had no cell service and none of us wanted to ask for directions. We all drop our gear right inside the door and proceed to stay up late drinking beer and eating our snacks, not wanting to go to bed in fear of missing out. At 6 a.m., we all wake up groggy, but get up anyway because fear of missing out. We make coffee, but nobody brought coffee filters, so it's all full of grounds. We make eggs, but nobody brought butter, so it sticks to the pan. At 7 a.m., we go for a walk in the woods, but get eaten alive by mosquitoes because nobody brought bug spray. At 8 a.m., we go fishing. We proceed to give each other pointers, but nobody catches a fish for 3 hours. Finally, one of us catches a tiny fish. We hold it as close to camera as possible to show off its girth. At 1 p.m., we realize we forgot sunscreen and are all getting burnt, so we head back to the cabin. At 2 p.m., we grill brats and eat them without buns or condiments. Chips and salsa are the only side we need.
So much so.
At 3 p.m., we argue about the structural integrity of the deck and the proper way to attach decks to houses. At 3:30, we decide it's best to just tear down the deck and rebuild it. At 3:45, we totally forget about the deck, and we all start feeling sluggish. It will be another 4 hours before any of us remember to drink water. At 6 p.m., we make dinner. Frozen pizzas. We don't have a pizza sheet, so it burns. We cut it with a pair of scissors and enjoy it. At 7 p.m., we go hunting for flies because nobody shuts the screen door. At 8 p.m., we build a campfire and have intelligent conversations that definitely aren't about our wieners. We then take turns each playing the one part of the one song that each of us knows on the guitar.
In a color portrait world, she believes that she's got it all.
This is really good. And that's our day.
Yep. Here's another real man, by the way, while I shit on LA. No one shits on New York better than John Rocker. He's back in the news. I think it was the 25th anniversary of him saying, fuck New York. Full of Anyone who says is funny. What kind of liberal fucking loser wrote this article? Fuck New York. John Rocker uses vile post to mark 25th anniversary of infamous what moment?
Mets moment.
Mets moment. Yeah, he played the Mets. He was on the Braves. I think he said he loved Shea Stadium because he loved destroying the Mets there. Click on the article, though.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's an article about the horrible thing he said 25 years ago?
I think so.
Yeah, let's do that's as an editor, I remember this is the kind of thing that you give an intern to do. John Rocker still feels the same way. Some people don't change. Former Braves pitcher John Rocker still seems to have issue with New York as he marked the 25th anniversary of his first game back at Shea Stadium after making incendiary comments in an infamous Sports Illustrated article bashing the city as a whole and taking aim at gays. Let's go see what he said. Let's see how bad it was and how inaccurate it was. We will be stopping the tape at the part that is not true. So hold on to your hat, John Rocker. We're about to censor your ass for being wrong. Good luck getting through this.
Quote, imagine having to take the number 7 train to the ballpark, looking like you're riding through Beirut, next to some kid with purple hair, next to some queer with AIDS, right next to some dude who just got out of jail for the 4th time, right next to some 20-year-old mom with 4 kids. It's depressing. And about New York City itself, Rocker said, the biggest thing I don't like about New York are the foreigners. I'm not a very big fan of foreigners. You can walk an entire block in Times Square and not hear anybody speaking English.
No pausing it there. So there is some hope here. By the way, I want to get to this train wreck, the cult of American Apparel, which was done by a chick. But I want to say there is some hope here with the DEI. DEI is falling apart. It was a relatively short-lived experiment. I mean, I know we've had affirmative action for a while, but it really peaked with DEI. Thank God this AC is coming on.
That's true.
And this woman is a typical defendant of DEI. Her chin's a little too big, but she's quite pretty. Let's see what
cities when you say that there's, many different types. I think, when people say diversity and inclusion, I think everybody agrees, or most people generally agree that it's a good thing, right? But I think right now we also need to bring in the word equity.
A few moments later.
Linda Sun, a former DEI officer and deputy chief of staff to Governor Kathy Hochul, faces serious federal charges related to a multi-million-dollar personal protective equipment, PPE, fraud and kickback scheme during the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as allegations of acting as an unregistered foreign agent for the Chinese government.
We do begin tonight with the stunning arrest of former high-level aide to 2 New York governors, Andrew Cuomo and Kathy Hochul. That aide accused of spying for China.
Democrats in New York love diversity, equity, inclusion.
And then, of course, we have the so that she's arrested. DEI is falling apart. People are seeing it for what it is. And then we had another piece of good news about the death of these on the bridge who say, please, we'll wait here. We'll just wait here. Can you imagine that guy bragging about what he did? Penn State agrees to limit the participation of transgender athletes in a deal with the Trump administration, the University of Pennsylvania, for whose women's team Leah Thomas swam, will not allow, was her name? Yeah, Thomas. Will not allow transgender women to participate in women's sports. This is Penn. Aren't they the ones who chased me out of the place? A mob of 500 trying to kill me and Alex Stein?
I think so.
The cops had to run red lights. And it gets better. ESPN, according to ESPN, the University of Pennsylvania says it will update records set by transgender swimmer Leah Thomas, and apologize to female athletes disadvantaged by Thomas's participation on the women's swimming team, part of a resolution of a federal civil rights case. Great news. However, there are still going to be some hangers-on. Now, we move slowly here in the West, and although to you and I, Trump is back, trans is over, DEI is finally DIE'd, but that doesn't mean everyone's on board. Britain is not coming on board. Canada is last. Women have split, and there is an interesting dichotomy with sane women who go, well, what the fuck? Why does everyone hate me? Why is Bill Burr talking about me all the time? I'm a white woman. I'm sorry. And then the childless hags who are still stuck on the anti-masculinity, everyone is racist shit. So here's a white woman saying, I'm done being a pariah.
I think that I speak for a lot
White
of
woman?
people who look like me, unless you are virtue signaling or have blue hair. And if you do, then keep scrolling.
So another differentiation I would make is childless and with children. This woman is a mom. She has kids, and she's one of the good ones. And by the way, same with the Karens. We like a lot of Karens. There's a couple who, you know, throw your fucking phone away when you're filming people at a demonstration and say, you don't belong here. They're annoying. They're childless. It's the shit chests who replace their wonderful gift of creating life, the blue thing in the middle of Iron Man. They ripped it out. They replaced it with shit. I call them shit chests. Iron Man can't function if this is poo instead of a glowing blue Nest thermostat, which we're no longer allowed to use. So go ahead.
But for the rest of us, we're exhausted. We're exhausted with the rules of the things that we can and can't do. And we're tired of hearing white women, like, dear white women, who's perpetuating what? We're just exhausted with it. You can't have our hairstyle, cultural appropriation. Braids don't belong to you. Sorry.
Wait, stop. Yeah, the Dutch, the Netherlands, you know how long ago they were braiding their fucking hair? And when you look at old pictures of Africa, you don't see a lot of braids. I remember even as a kid in the 70s and 80s, black women had normal hair. They had their afros. They had afro pics. It's only when I came to America in the late 90s, I started seeing black women in wigs. And then the braids thing, I think that's a relatively new phenomenon too. You didn't really see it in the 70s and 80s. And don't pull up some random fucking picture, okay? I was there.
And don't smile at us. When you're walking past us, don't smile at us. I will smile at whoever I want. That's just me. I smile at people. It's a cultural thing from when I was little. We were taught to smile at people, and that's okay. I mean, it's borderline, no, not even borderline. It's bullying. Just leave us alone. You don't have to tell us what you think about us. We don't care. Just leave us alone. I mean, it's starting to look like you are just obsessed with us. That's not a pretty look.
Beautifully said.
So, if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.